Welcome back to Chapter 9, Section 4. We are on weight and mass. Now, this is going to be a repeat, so it's going to be really quick. But because we're not learning anything new, we're just applying what we know to something different. Our conversions in weight, in American weight, 1 ton is 2,000 pounds, and 1 pound, this is 1 lb, equals 16 ounces. And it's going to give us, I have 2.3 pounds, and that equals how many ounces? And we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to stick our conversion factor next to our fraction. 2.3 pounds over 1 times 1 pound is 16 ounces, and we're going to cross cancel and multiply. Or you can just multiply right now. You can take the shortcut, that's fine. But it's a bunch of these. And then they're going to switch to metrics. And the metrics is section B on page 520. And again, they spell out everything for you. It's the same thing that it was before. So let me draw you that chart really quick. So here, our unit is the gram. And it's going to give us a number of metrics, like I have 27 decigrams, and I want to know how many kilograms that is. And so, again, your ones place has to be in this slot. So I need it to end here, so I'm going to put a 27 here. Well, now, I want to know how many kilograms it is. Well, it's not any kilograms. It's not 1 kilogram. It's less than 1 kilogram. So this is going to be 0 point, and I'm going to stick a 0 for every single one of those. It's just like we learned before, but with grams. And that's it. There is one medical application I want to walk you through, but first thing I'm going to tell you is we're going to do this same thing for Chapter 9, Section 5, but it's going to be in liters. It's going to be volume, and this unit is going to be liters, and it treats everything the same way, so we don't have to go through it again, okay? Now, medical application. When you go into medicine, you have to understand the microgram, and 1 microgram is the same as 1 millionth of a gram. That's the microgram. Now, that ends up being 3 more spots out here. So I'm going to move this because I have a giant whiteboard. And we're going to extend. So after milli comes pico, and after pico comes nano, and then after nano comes micro. So if you have 32 centigrams of something, and they ask you how many micrograms, this is how microgram looks. If they ask you how many micrograms, you can fit your 32 centigrams here and go 1, 2, 3, 4. It is 320,000 micrograms. And if you have 1.5 micrograms, how many centigrams is that? Then you can stick your 1, your ones place goes here, 1.5 micrograms. I want to know how many centigrams it is. Well, it's 0 centigrams, 0 point, dun, 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 and I'm going to take this out because my decimal is now over here, and it's 10, 100,000, 10,000, 100,000. It is 1,500 thousandths of a microgram, 0.00015. So that's the only special thing you're going to have to do. And now I'm moving this back. So we are going to look at page 523, which starts the homework. And on 523, section A, we have a lot of conversion factors for American units. And then at the bottom, it starts the metric units. and it continues on page 524, and then section C includes micrograms in their metric conversions. So you'll have some chances to mess with that. And we're going to skip straight to 9-5, which is capacity. Capacity essentially means volume, and so we're measuring the volume usually of liquids, and this is where our liters comes in. And you're used to having a 2-liter Pepsi container or that kind of thing. So we're going to quickly go through our American units of capacity. So here we have our American conversion units of capacity. There are 2 cups in a pint, 2 pints in a quart, 4 quarts in a gallon, and that's something I just memorized growing up, and it kind of clicks. There are also 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup, which I think is cheating because you can't use ounces twice, and you certainly can't use ounces twice with 2 different numbers. So another stellar example of how great the American system is. And again, your book gives these to you on page 527. You don't have to memorize them, and they will appear on your test if you need them. So on page 527, they've got conversions with these units, and then you turn the page, and they start the metric units, and it looks just like grams and meters looks, so nothing's different there. There is also 1 metric unit of capacity, again, for a medical application, and that is the cc. And you might have heard this on hospital shows, TV shows, things like that, where they give them 3 cc's of stuff. So a cc is a cubic centimeter. So here you need to understand how all the metric units fit together. We have 1 centimeter, which is about this long, and that's a unit of distance. And one cubic centimeter is where you have a little cube that is 1 centimeter on every side. That's a cubic centimeter. That's also a milliliter. If you had this box filled with liquid, that would be 1 milliliter of water, or whatever your liquid is. So this size directly connects, so that if you say, I have a 47 milliliter container, you can like figure out the dimensions of this. So it's actually useful, heaven forbid. Now, if you fill this with pure water, it weighs exactly 1 gram. And that's how they all fit together. Now, having said this, in medical speak, they don't say give them 1 milliliter of the antidote or whatever they're sticking in the needles in their veins and whatever. They don't say 1 milliliter, they say 1 cubic centimeter, but they don't write it like this, they write it like this, cubic centimeter. They're taking those C's. And so when you have a large container of a liquid and they want to figure out how many doses are in that large container, they have to break down their capacity into how many cubic centimeters or how many milliliters will that hold. So if you figure out milliliters and they want a medical answer, whatever the milliliter is, it's the same number for cubic centimeters. So if you have a container that holds 526 milliliters, then it holds 526 cc's as well, because these are the same thing. Okay? In your book, if you check out page 529, where they talk about medical applications, example 6 talks about pharmacy, because pharmacists order American drugs with American units, but doctors' offices order things often in cc's, and so they have to convert quickly from American to metric all the time. And they tell you 1 fluid ounce is 29.57 milliliters. And so they tend to guesstimate that a bit and say if you've got an ounce of stuff, you've got 30 milliliters. You've got 30 cc's of it about. It's a little short, but that's okay. It's a good guesstimate, and so that's what they use, and that's a conversion factor. 1 fluid ounce equals 29.57 milliliters. There's your conversion. So if you get something in ounces, you can tell how many cc's it's got, okay? And then we turn the page and we're on homework. On page 530, section A, you go through all of the... Section A, you go through... On page 530, section A, there is a mixture of standard units and metric units. Ooh, they're mixing it up. And then section B, it's specifically about medical dosages, and so it's written in word problem style. And so your answers are going to have a lot to do with milliliters and cc's. Okay? If you have any questions, mark them. Print them, bring them in so we can talk about them. There are a couple of conversion questions on your final, and I need you to be good at, for example, the example 6 on page 529, that kind of a problem where they give you a conversion and they say, we've got this much in this unit, how many do we have in that unit? Okay? So try and get comfortable with this type of problem, and then Math 65 is going to go super smoothly for you when you hit measurement. Okay? That's all we've got. That's chapter 9. Good luck, and I will see you on Wednesday. Enjoy your class. Thanks.